Hi everyone, welcome to Designing Up. I'm your host Nuwan. The purpose of this podcast is to talk with individuals who moved up into the leadership roles to find out what helped them and what worked. You will hear from all kinds of leaders, product, tech, design, entrepreneurs, people from all kinds of backgrounds who figured out how to step up and lead. Because the truth is, great leadership principles cross boundaries. My mission is to showcase what makes a great design leader, bring you diverse perspective from people who've actually done it, and most importantly, help you figure out your own path to get there. Every episode is designed to give you something actionable you can use in your own journey. Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Hi Sam, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm good. Hi, Nuwan.
So welcome everyone. So I'm today recording second episode of Designing Up. And I'm joining with a friend of mine, Sam. So Sam, a little bit introduction about him. He's into hands-on design management at hoodies.team. He's very active in the design community in Berlin. He also started bootstrapping journey recently. So tell me a little bit about you, Sam.
Oh, thank you, Nuwan. Yeah, I think I can generally describe myself as a generalist. So I'm just trying to make things, trying to push other people to make things. And that describes my current personality at the moment.
This is the reason I actually want to talk to you, because you are one of the only few people that I encountered super into entrepreneurship. And I still remember we were talking also back in London about entrepreneurship and design.
Yeah.
Actually, Sam, that would be really interesting if you could touch how do you transition into a design founder?
Yeah, so I don't really have an answer right now because I'm on this journey right now. What I can feel that's already in the air, that I feel for design founders, that's the perfect moment to start right now. It's much easier than if you are engineer, for example, or just a marketing person. It's much easier for a designer to start being a founder for a couple of reasons. You have an empathy, so you can be really empathetic with your potential user. You can understand what's the problem area, describe the problem, then put this problem on paper, find a solution, and then you just continue moving on. And that's you're building a product right now. Mm-hmm. And the only thing that you're missing is you need to understand how to play with the numbers, how to do the marketing. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm actively learning right now. Yeah, perfect moment. AI, this design hackathon that we hosted in Berlin, it was a couple of weeks ago. The result was awesome. People have really delivered really good looking products. They had really nice pitch decks in just 7 hours. So that's crazy.
You know what you said is absolutely true, and I think we are kind of aligned on this with AI. I think right now anyway, how I also see designers need to be very entrepreneurial, how things are going, right?
Yeah,
you got to learn how to do everything. Back in the day, you could do really only design, but right now you have ability to do everything.
Yes.
And if you do have let's say the initiative to take it on, and it's so easy. So I really believe you, because I believe also in the coming years we're gonna have a lot of design founders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think market is kind of trying to push us to also become founders. Have you seen this recent calling for summer founders from YC? So the second point there, it's design founders. They're calling for design founders.
Yes.
The market is also feeling that. There are awesome examples of design founders, Brian Chesky, for example. He's always here. We're putting him on pedestal as a designer.
And talking about entrepreneurship, what do you think maybe the people listening right now, how do you think you can create I know entrepreneurship is something you gotta try, right? It's not something that you
of course, yeah,
it's not something that you learn in one day, but what are things you can actually do as a designer, especially
as a designer? So try simple. So my journey, I started with a really simple problem that I had in front of me. I created a language learning app that's simple flashcards, but with a nice touch of AI into it. And I learned so much about building products, just trying to build it myself. I think the best things that you can do, you can just start. So like explore for the closest ideas that you have in front of your mind that can fit your problem. Start here, then spend like set deadline. That's important. Otherwise you will get in the trap of building this for years.
100%.
Then build it for 3 months, throw it away, and then find another product to build that is more real. So you just try to... The thing is that for me, it's really important to get into the habit of creating product rather than like trying to create 1 billion startup as your first idea. Just getting into the habit of building.
You know, like we've been told, especially like when we're learning, that you're supposed to do your part, right? A part of like crafting ideas, do the user research. Especially, I'm talking about product design.
Yeah.
As a designer, what you're trying to say, like you got to take into the other side, right? Like the building. You got to think of like how to get it to the market, testing it out.
Yeah.
Doing more product work, right?
Yeah. So that's actually what I think we would need to learn. So get more into product marketing, distribution, and all of these topics. So they're crazy. I'm still learning them, so I don't know like everything. But if you try to jump on this journey, it would be so much easier to progress in your career if you just continue like going into the management path or IC path. That's much easier. So you're like on the same level with this you would become on the same level with the founder. So that would be another talk.
This is actually a very good topic. That's something I really care about. I really believe like there won't be any roles in the future. We care about designers, product managers, mostly like those product oriented roles. I really believe like you're gonna have like a product people, right? Who can actually build and do things. And the more and more we go, like you can see, right? Like this is exactly the perfect time. Like you said, you gotta really understand how to build. And even like you said, when you go to a startup, you think about like how people build, right? Like entrepreneurship, like how to get the product into the market and how really actually make, solve a problem. Yeah. So I think it's a perfect time. But I also believe, there won't be any roles. There will be really like people who actually do things.
Yes. So that's hot take, but I also believe it. I also believe in generalist and like becoming the next big thing, because you can leverage AI right now to cover the biggest part that you have, like in terms of your skills, in terms of your hard skills. And then what really matters is your soft skills and desire to like deliver the value to others.
Exactly. Let's talk a little bit about that, because I think to do all of this, because as a designer, especially talking in product design, like you got to learn all of these things. And that means like you probably need to have more high agency, right? Like to get things done and move things faster. Try to learn things that you never tried or like experiment. What do you think of like having this mindset? Like how important is it?
High agency, that it's a big thing for me in this year. This year it's all started like people starting putting this into words actually, and I think it was always somewhere with me. I don't know where, but like I was just feeling bias to action. For example, my personality, I just hate being like discussing or over researching some stuff. I just a person of action. I need to take action. Yes. So this is like, I believe that's one of characteristics for high agency. So like, of course you're doing your research, but that's like doesn't stop you from doing action. Like you always want to push something forward.
How does somebody develop it? Like let's say somebody listening and thinking about like I want to actually get things actions, move things faster, not procrastinating, and setting deadlines, actually testing and iterating.
Yes. So the good thing about high agency, I think that you can learn it by actually doing something. That's simple words, but I think like you just need to start. And if it's hard to start, you can use some sort of techniques. For example, body doubling. You can invite your friend and bet that you will deliver this product or you will deliver this talk in 1 month. If not, then you owe this person $1,000 or I don't know, something. And then it would push you forward to start acting. And at the moment where you're already acting on something, then it's much easier to proceed and start like delivering more and more. And then you will just start feeling this energy. you're ready for the next move.
Yeah, that's really that's a really good example. I think it's very important for like, especially in your career path, right? As you move on, even if you don't care about like entrepreneurship, let's say, even though you want to go into, like you said, managerial or higher level IC, seniority.
Yeah.
It's always easy to identify people with high agency
Yeah.
in the room, right? And like when you're like a founder or like a very higher up, like usually they are very into, they have the high agency mindset, right?
Yes. Especially with founders, I find it like really interesting that you can always identify this quality of the founder, disagreeability.
Yeah.
So they do not always agree with you. And I think that's also important topic for designers, because if you agree on everything, that you'll get a shitty design solution. So this is one thing that we can really stand out with, because we are learning this through our profession. Disagreeability, I believe that's another topic for high agency, another quality.
I think what you said is completely true. Like, especially as designers, I think you gotta build that muscle. Like, if you want to push a great design, if you want to push a great like experience, you gotta really fight for it. You can't just agree, and you gotta be very high agency to like disagree and to push it. But of course, like, work as a team. Tell me a little bit about how you got into like design management from IC.
Oh yeah, that's a long story. So I'm currently managing 5 designers in my team, and I'm design manager for 5 years. But to describe a story that was super chaotic, I remember, I will not tell the whole story, but I remember I started like as a freelancer, and at some point I understood that I'm really bad at managing myself, and that was a trigger for me to get more into management topic. At that point, I found a really cool design agency, digital design agency. They were creating these crazy works for crazy websites for awards. And then I became a project manager there. So I just emailed them, described what I want to do, and then I joined the company. And here I learned how to do project management. And that was the initial touch point where I started being a manager. As it was project manager, not design manager, actually.
And what about the people management? How was that experience?
For people management, it was chaotic. Like, I didn't have any knowledge before. I was, I don't know, like 22 years old, and I got into management position. And I don't know. I think at the first I tried to be IC the most, like trying to most of the stuff myself, not trying to delegate. I didn't understand the concept of delegation a lot at that point, because I just started. I didn't have any mentors at the point. I didn't even know the topic, like the whole concept of mentorship at that point. So that was really early. A few things that I learned along the way, I understood how to plan for the team, how to be clear and thinking, because your thinking affects what will others on your team will do. So you need to be really clear with the focusing on the right thing for your team. So this is one skill that I got on my way. To answer your question, that was chaotic. So I remember I was struggling to set up ownership for certain things, because initially I was trying to become a rescuer for everyone in the team, and that was the wrong thing that I was doing.
Actually, when you said listen to a lot of like great managers in the industry, like a lot of people are always put into the spot like unprepared. And you just need to learn, right? That's how you make. So a lot of these things we talked about earlier, actually, like high agency, like having the right mindset, those always affect, right? Like those are very important. But I want to also like touch your audience that are listening, right? Like somebody who consider going into people management, maybe they're really great in the craft. What are the things that they should consider?
If they want to start being IC, they want to start being a manager.
People management,
I think first of all, you need to get this opportunity to become a manager. So you need to increase your luck surface area to become a manager. By that, I mean, I don't know, you need to be in the circle of managers and looking for these positions. So this is the first thing. So you need to get this opportunity first. So if you don't have an area for practice, you will not learn the craft. Then to learn the craft, I'm like, me, I'm a person of action. that you need to try it in action, try to manage someone, try to create your project and manage other people in this project, try to get into helping your design manager. They will love it for sure, because you are doing the hard job, but then while doing this hard job, you will learn a lot of skills on the way, a lot of the management skills.
I mean, what you said is completely true. Like, managing your managers in a way, right? Like understanding what are the things that you can do.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. But I also like what you mentioned earlier, like I think the mentoring, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's also plays a huge part. I know also you are doing it actively, similar to me. So we both have a very similar experience on that. How much does, like, let's say like if somebody's starting, do you think like if you're a senior designer, you should start thinking of like mentoring actively?
Yeah. So that's the right point. Mentorship, that's actually a good starting point for becoming a manager. At least you can try to get into other people's heads and start thinking. So mentorship, really easy to start, right? If you are actually a senior designer, that's really easy to start. A lot of junior people, you just start as a mentor, trying to solve really easy problems for junior designers. You already have an experience. If you get into this state of mind that you can solve problems for others, like for other junior designers, you will get this confidence that you can solve it for more senior people. And then you have this confidence eventually will have this confidence to become a manager. So that can be your journey.
No, exactly. I think, it also, like, when I started mentorship, I still remember, like, it really helped me a lot. Especially to learn about people. Mostly. It's not about the design or anything. Right? It's learn about the people, the triggers, how to influence them, like soft skills, right? That's how you communicate, right? How to communicate correct way so some people understand, or you tap into the right area.
Yes. How to make other people confident in what they're doing.
Yes.
How to navigate them. So that's all interesting topics to explore while you're jumping into mentorship.
Talking about mentorship and coaching, you and fellow other organizers, you created this mentorship program in Berlin with one of the universities that I also had the privilege to be a part of. How did it go? Like, did you get like really good feedback from mentees and mentors? Like, the experience they got or learn new things and succeeded in getting a job?
Yes, that was initially that was our goal for design students, to kind of touch the grass, if I can say it. So to connect them to real designers that are working in the industry and kind of navigate them into the market. For the results, I know there is a person who got a job at SAP. She secured this through the mentorship program. That was awesome. And they had really nice talk at the end of the program. And I think, that's like the outcome of it, the most nicest outcome that we can get, that people got real job.
No, that's a really great story. I mean, if you can, that shows the importance of mentorship, right? And it's the other way around too, right? As a mentor, like, you can learn a lot, like going into the management, or like managing a bigger team, or like understanding different personalities. So I think it's really good. And
for mentorship, I think that's really interesting. When you are a mentor, especially if you have all these platforms right now, you can go and explore really different problems of different people. So you don't need to be stuck with only your team problems, but you can go really wide and explore other people problems. And that's where you can really grow here in mentorship, because you start seeing some patterns in the people's problems. So some of them, they want to build a portfolio. Some of them, they are struggling with transition from IC to manager, and etc. So like there would be like some patterns here, and then you will get this knowledge and create this like your personal knowledge base about designers' problems around you. And that would be so much easier than to continue doing mentorship and so on.
Yeah, I think you hit nail right there, because when I started mentorship, like I had an idea, like, this is what it's gonna be like.
Yeah.
But when I actually got into like talking to like you said, very different problems, very different goals, and ambitions, like
Yeah.
it just like gives you like a holistic view, right? Like how people are, and that's like a real team, right? When you have a real team, that's the same way.
Yeah.
Some people just want to achieve like good results, like
Yeah.
high performance, some people just want to have like a quality, like patient, like. And what about like the do you mentor currently also?
Yes, I do within the team. Yes, I have profile on this big website that I don't want to talk about, but currently only within the team.
Let's go into design community.
Mm-hmm.
I know like you are, or everybody in Berlin, they know you as like a community guy, right? You're like
I'm not sure, but yeah.
Co-organizers, right? Co-organizers of Berlin design events. And how important is having a community, especially in the career growth?
Yeah, I think really important. So this is the people that you can ask advice from. This is the people that support you. They share the same problems. And it's much easier to move if you have the same like-minded people around you that have the same set of problems. And some of them, they already overcame that. So you can get advice from them. And at the same time, you're also increasing your surface luck area, which is also important. You never know, like on the next meetup, you can jump into some manager that is hiring for they have open positions that you always dreamed about. So you never know.
I think it's like it really helps every stage, right? Like even like, because I talk to many events that I go to, like you talk to students, right? They just want to get into the understand the field, the industry.
Yeah.
And then you talk to like junior, mid, also senior, like also you find like head of designs and all, or engineers and product managers also.
Yeah.
How would, like, let's say you are as a senior designer, let's say product designer, having a community, like how does it help them getting in, progress in their career? Because I'm pretty sure like as a student or like very junior, it helps a lot, right? Because you see a lot of people who are like seniority. But I just want to understand also from as a senior perspective, like how would that accelerate?
So this is the questions that I'm trying to ask right now with our community, because to be honest, I don't know how to, like, let's put this on paper. So like that should be, if you want to transition from IC, you join the community, and obviously the next thing that you would be looking for, this is for looking for open job position as a manager or looking for advice. So you can either get a mentor through community, or you can get lucky, get an open position from somewhere, an invitation to interview. So that's if we put this on paper. But I think like that's all like active things. But in passive, I think you can think about more stuff like starting your products, for example. This is what I'm trying to do within the community.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit on the side of how you can progress in your career, because that's like not really transitioning from IC to manager, but that's like completely other journey of being a founder. But it can help you a lot. Like if you build something on the side, then you can use this experience to boost yourself in the career. So this is what I'm trying to do right now, create the space for co-creation and community. I think other things, that's actually about increasing your surface luck area. I don't believe there are other things out there. So like that's just networking, getting opportunities in front of you, helping others. Yeah, actually helping others. So I think we've all been in these conversations on meetups where you met the person. This is really nice person, but you are not really going anywhere. Like you can't, like you exchange contacts on LinkedIn, you connected on LinkedIn, you are following each other, but you are not like really moving forward. So I invite people to actually co-create something. So this is actually where you can create this kind of strong relationship like we're doing right now with you.
Yeah. That's great that you are exploring this idea, like because that's I think that's really interesting. I would love to understand like how the community can help, especially senior people. But there's obvious, like you said. I think creating voice outside your organization, right?
Yeah.
That is a very important thing. I think that's something I'm also issue before. I'm doing the correct things, but then you realize, like especially when you're gonna go progress in your career, you gotta actually create a voice in the community also, right? That's very important.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of great designers or great any product leaders, like you know them, right?
Yeah.
Because through thought leadership or
Yes.
whatever the person's outside there.
Yeah.
So I think that what you're doing is super good because like a lot of times you go and you talk to people and you create and you meet like similar people and of course then your things that you talk about and then based on your topics and everything that you can actually create really great connections.
Yes. So people can start reaching out to you, but I think like it's not just being a part of community, but collaborating with it or creating something for community. So you give other people value, because if you are passively just part of the community, I think you will not get anything. Like, of course, you will get fun and everything.
Free
you
drinks.
you can hang out with people. That's great. I love that too. But to move things forward, I think the thing you need to have this bias to action, like I said before. So you need to act on opportunities that you have in front of you.
Yeah. But I think also the external voice, right? Like you gotta actively like make that your voice heard from outside, right? Like from the organization. Also like that, because there's so many events also happening in especially in our area. Like what would you give like advice to somebody who wants to test the waters, right? Like creating like outside like a voice. Let's say they join your design community, right? Like you said, how would take the action?
First of all, you need to find a topic to talk about that should be interesting to other people. So you need to find something that clicks for you and for others. So for me, this is a big topic like design founders. So I found it super interesting for me. The other topics that I find super interesting is to create space for co-creation. So I love to boost other people to create something. So this is two interesting topics for me. But I believe like there are plenty of other topics that you can explore. For example, the next big thing for me that I'm thinking about, that's like visual design. So like I see, I'm not sure how, but I believe like some designers, they lost the craft of visual design, or we generally just lost it. And I feel like there is a need for good, I don't know, design courses or anything. Like LinkedIn post on visual design. So we're missing it for product designers, I mean. So like this is another topic that you can explore. Or you can explore topics of design and AI. So this is really hot topic, but you can jump on it. And it's also important for others to learn from you. So I think like finding just general ideas that you love yourself and that you start sharing them, and you can also see if people are reacting on that, if they are providing feedback, and that's how you can learn if it's interesting for others or not.
Talking about going back to maybe switching a subject a little bit. So we talked about like the importance of the community, but I like to tap it a little bit, go backward to the design itself, like because you mentioned like visual design, like there's a need for it, especially with the AI now, right? Like a lot of things are getting easier to do, things are faster. I believe like also I agree with you, because I believe like people who with a great taste is going to be the differentiator from now on, because everything is becoming easier, right? And becoming, I mean, it's a good thing becoming easier,
for sure,
because you don't want to spend so much time doing things that maybe not really that impactful. But that gives the designer more advantage, because especially if you have great taste and you have vision, like you want to push, you create like things faster now. What's your take on that?
Completely agree with you. So taste really matters now. This is like a buzzword now. That's becoming buzzword. But I think at some point it will get to the point like you are solving the problem and then you are creating an art piece. If you combine everything together, you're providing the value to others, but you're also giving them the meaning. That's like if you combine it together, that's like will skyrocket your product. And I think that's a really interesting topic to explore, but creating art is hard.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you need to be on the edge of what's already been done before you. So this is really interesting.
You know, this is actually 100% true. You know, I always talk with other people about the, you know, AI and like design in general. Like, the craft is very hard. Like, it's not easy as, yeah, sure, you can do it, but like having this, because at the end of the day, you are creating, still, if a human's purchasing your products or services, you are designing for people at the end of the day. It doesn't matter what you use, right? You gotta tap into the emotional aspect of human beings.
For sure. Yeah.
And that's why like design is always being right, timeless, like all the best design. So that thing you cannot teach straight away. Sure, like AI can help you a lot. Maybe it'll come to that place one time, right? One day, but still for now, I think there's a huge gap for it.
Yeah. So becoming more emotional, like if you remember the first time you purchased a MacBook and open all the packaging and everything, that's the feeling that you need to get every time. People need to get every time they collaborate with you, with your products, with everything. So that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, no wonder why OpenAI, you know, hired Johnny Ives, right?
yeah.
Especially with
big investment.
Yeah. No, I really believe like because the great design has always been great design for centuries, right?
Yeah.
And I mean that's the standard. I also believe, like I was telling to one of my mentees also, you got to go back and really understand now what is design again, right?
What's the core of that?
The core of design, exactly. Because a lot of times we get, you know, living on the right current time. And sometimes you forget.
Yeah. So I love that we are kind of. So for the last, I don't know, like 10 years, we were praising our design process, and now we're kind of ditching it and getting to the basics. So that's like, you know, this meme where you you start with the basics, then you're overthinking that, and then you're getting to the basics. So I think we're at the stage where we're getting to the basics. And I love this because for my generalist mind, that's a super nice moment.
100%. I'm exactly like you. You know, I completely agree because I was talking to one person again about this. We were like talking about design process a lot. Remember, like back in the day, like in the interviews or portfolios, it's all about this massive checklist, everything you do. And then like we were like, glorifying the process, and then like, what are we doing, right?
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, like process is great. It should help you to get things faster, but it should not block you from getting things done, you know, putting them on the market.
100%, right? Like this is the thing, right? Like a process is very important. Process should be relevant. It's not something you should aim to achieve, like you gotta do everything, but you really need to think like, okay, why this is important, right? If you get something that you think is important, there need to be a reason. And if it doesn't, just remove it, right?
Yes. So that's just your tool. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. I remember the point where like it was 2017, 2018, a lot of different frameworks were out there. And I was trying to jump on every framework and try CGM, everything, like trying to build everything in one product. And it was killing me because I was trying to apply it to really simple products and I didn't understand why it's not working, and now I'm back like trying to get rid of all this process.
Like process is important, but I think the fundamental like principles are the core. That is where you need to build everything on, because those are the foundations, right? Like the principles, like every company, every product, every the great like product that you interact, they all based on that. And they're always there, right?
What is the simplest formula of that? Like value plus problem that you are solving, then plus taste, experience, and you're getting feedback. So you need to get feedback. So that's like the simplest formula of that.
Yeah, all the great products, like you mentioned about opening a MacBook, right?
Yeah.
And that principle still exists, right?
Yes. So this is the first touch point and emotional experience that you
Yes.
get from it. Yeah.
I really believe the same way. Like I really believe like we gotta really, especially with the design, especially like how things are moving fast. You really gotta understand and build the base again as designers.
Yeah.
Especially if you are like a new designer getting into the industry.
Yeah.
You gotta learn like how things are done, like especially the timeless designs, right? The principles.
Yeah.
And then you gotta really tap into and use the knowledge that you have and the tools.
Yeah.
And you can really create a lot of great things because that's what makes you a designer.
Yeah. That's great. Clear thinking, focusing, and adding some touch of emotion on top of it.
And actually, maybe a topic about like craft. Let's say, how do you establish very high standard for craft, like in your team, for example?
For craft, you mean like visual design processes?
Yeah, everything.
For our team, that's I'm using a cheat code. We are hiring only senior designers. So sorry for all junior designers, but that's like the basics of the business that we have. Hiring senior designers, so they already know all the craft. But when they are struggling, I'm myself like hands-on design manager. I'm not only like manage people, but I'll also create products myself. So I also contribute with design myself. So I haven't lost all the craft. So I kind of become a filter for design decisions that people are making in the team. So there are mostly like 90% of the decisions they make it themselves, but I'm stepping in the point where they are struggling with their hardest problems, or I see that they can improve some of the design decisions. I can say that's a combination of being an IC and being a manager, So I still have this craft with myself.
Yeah, Sam. So you mentioned about senior designers. Actually, this is a very good point. I want to actually explore this because I want to give also people listening who are maybe not in the senior level, right? So having a great design craft, it takes time, right? It takes time, and I mean, it's pretty evident right now in the job market. Everybody's hiring super ICs, right?
Oh yeah, 10 years experience.
And also like even like a job title, everybody hires principal or like staff level designers. These days, like very very hard to find like a mid level or junior at least that this time, right? Like because this is exactly your point, right? A lot of people want like the standards, the high standards and craft everything intact because of we are trying to navigate this AI and all the new technologies.
I think that's a nature of the market and how good we are with funding for our startups, for our companies. And it's limited right now. That's why people won't hire the best. They hire only 1 or 2 persons and they deliver everything in their products. And that's just the nature.
It is very hard now to find a job, right? I want to understand. Of course, the job market is cannot, it's out of your control. But certain aspects of this, the seniority, like the craft and all the standards, the high standards. How can you actually develop it or somewhere like to get into the job market? Because it's super difficult.
You need to stand out first. You can stand out. What I can see clearly. And the job market, you can stand out with visual design skills. Much easier to get visual design skills, so that's more about the craft than about understanding how things work. And if you get really visual design skills, first of all, like people that are looking for junior designers, are not expecting that you are good at everything, like research, understanding the whole big picture, strategy. They just need people, like hands-on people that can deliver stuff. And visual design is all about delivering stuff. On top of that, you apply basics of UX, and then you will just stand out above 90% of the market. So if you start reviewing junior designer portfolios, overcomplicated with all these long processes that they applied, because I'm not sure, like people are getting this knowledge from
Recency biased, maybe.
Yeah. And then visual design, it's not here. It's an interesting topic that we kind of lost this craft of visual design. I'm not sure why.
That's a good point.
So I think to answer your question, you need to stand out. And by standing out, I mean like you can do visual design. You can try to apply to job positions that no one really applying. I can give you an example. A job at one of my first companies as a product designer. And they were not hiring anyone. I was just reaching out to founder, doing a small redesign concept as all we love to do. And I was doing like a pitch deck on what I can be helpful with if you hire me in the team. And I did this design concept, pitch deck, and they eventually hired me for a couple of years.
Yeah.
So this is how you can stand out. You will not have any competition at all, like in the market. Because if you see open position for junior designers, and one day you will have like 400 applications, and that's like a tough competition. So I believe if you can create these moments of standing out from others, you can use it for your advantage.
That's a great example. I mean, I highly encourage people to do exactly the same. But also, I believe right now with the AI tools, I would say, create a concept, use these tools, show it as more like a product, right?
Yeah.
Because you can drive it from end to end now.
Yeah.
I mean, show it as like everything, your knowledge, and of course, great examples of like, design. This is a great time because you can build something super fast and you can actually showcase like a real product at the end of the day. You don't need to, like you said, create like a huge list of processes and like a wall of text, but you can actually showcase like more like a builder now.
Yeah, it also makes sense. Another advice I can provide is that don't trust all the senior people advice, because they already in the game for such a long time. They don't really understand the market right now for juniors. Get a mentor that just like 1 or 2 years ahead of you that recently got a job. That would be a much more relevant advice to you.
Yeah, that's a great angle too, actually. More towards like advice that the person looking for right now, right? Because 2 years, not much. Seniority, of course. Yeah,
so like I can already understand that from my perspective. I'm only hiring senior designers, but I'm missing this perspective of what it means for being a junior designer right now in 2025. So I'm missing this perspective, so I can't provide really valid advice here. So to be honest,
I completely agree. This is something I also sometimes I get requests on that. It's very hard because it's too complicated if I give advice, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is it's not the right area, like maybe to focus. Yeah. Because maybe we say too many things about product or product sense and everything, right?
Yeah.
They probably need, like you said, visual design is a great example, because at the end of the day, like if you're really good at that, then you can build top of it. And especially if you get hired as a junior designer, you gotta, without visual design, like, I mean, it's very hard, I would say, like, because that's just the foundation of like your design, right? And then you figure out which path you want to move into.
Yeah, especially if we think about the future of design and everyone will become a generalist. So like generalist, product designer, and you will involve any other like engineering parts into it. We will talk about this later. Like if you're a generalist, you need to be good at visual design. So it's inevitable that you need to skill up in this game of visual design.
And I want to make it clear though, like, visual design doesn't mean like art, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Of course, like a great, I would say, like, let's clarify, because maybe I would love to understand how you think, because I think visual design, because I really very product oriented, like I like the whole thing, like how to even shipping it, like all the area from beginning. But I always believe like great visual design, I believe like having the correct details, right? The eye for the right thing. It's not overcomplicating thing, but based on the exact thing you want to ship, let's say the solution, you need to have the correct amount of, let's say, the details. Because sometimes you always find like people are overdoing things, and it becomes like art, right? Because the design and art is completely two different things.
Of course. So you can use some of the techniques of art when you're creating visual design, but it should be not overcomplicated. One of the examples can be like you can open on the left side, you can open Airbnb. On the left side, on the right side, you can open booking.com.
Yes.
And then just compare and see what is visual design and understand it.
Yeah, a perfect example. Great topic. Every designer need to really figure out now, especially as a junior and mid designers, like how to get into entrance to the job market, right? Because like you said, the visual design is a great example. Maybe move on to another topic. I know we mentioned, we talked about earlier mentorship, but let's also talk about a little bit on coaching. This is maybe, like switching the gear and going into the senior.
Yeah.
What's the difference between mentoring and coaching?
For mentorship, I think I can describe it simply like you have an experience and you are talking to other person, you're telling the other person how to make things in your perspective. When we are talking about coaching, it's more about the other person on the other side to help navigate the space on their own. So you are not really providing any advice. You are just helping, you are working like a mirror here. So you are just highlighting what they can already do. You are answering questions to them, but they are navigating the space themselves. So this is the difference that I see for myself.
And do you have any coaching experience that you received from some great coaches?
Yeah, so we have a practice, like we have a coach in our team. She's doing a great job at actually explaining. We never knew like what is coaching about, because it's like just an abstract and really like a buzzword that is not have some negative picture around it. And so we have this person in our team that started helping us with different requests that we had about any topics, any professional topics that we had. And we have seen the value in coaching, that it's starting helping people to actually grow and become a high agency people,
Yeah.
So they're starting seeing themselves as high agency people, and they're starting acting after the coaching practice. They're starting acting on themselves without any other help. So that's what we see here. That's how we're learning. So I didn't have any coaching experience before. I don't have a certificate for coaching. So we have coach on the team. We have different exercises that we do together as a group. And this coach you can create a coaching contract with this coach, and then you can help you navigate your problems that you have.
No, that's a really great point. I can also mention you, like I tried a coach very first time when I tried. I was kind of after first session I was wondering like what is this? Right?
Yeah.
I was wondering like, is this a correct a session or I'm doing a therapy session? But actually you're right, because the person I did with, and she actually helped me to really figure out things on my own. Mm-hmm. It was crazy because in the beginning I was like, what is this, right? Yeah. And then the more I did, a few more sessions I did, oh wow, she's actually helping me to tap into my own brain to figure out things and try things.
Not interrupting at all.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's really, I highly advise a lot of people, especially in the seniority, like if you are in that position, like you should definitely start trying, because that's how you unlock, right, where you want to go, and the decisions you can make or you want to make. That's very important.
I really love that. If you compare, like you said, it feels like therapy, but in therapy, you're always talking about, most of the time, you are like reflecting on your past experience. When coaching, it's more about the future. And I'm super motivated talking about the future. Yeah. So it's kind of pushing you forward. And it's always about like having a coaching contract that always to pushing you forward to act on what you agreed with your coach.
Yeah, and actually another thing that I want to add also to what you mentioned, like also the coaching actually helped me to figure out things that I never thought of, right? Yeah, I want to achieve everything, or I want to get into certain place, right? Yeah. It really helped me to understand, or at least like look in the different perspective, like okay, if you go there, what happens, right? Yeah. Then what?
Yes.
Like you gotta really figure out, because a lot of times, especially high performers, like I would say, like I'm pretty sure like anybody who listening can relate, like you have the goal, you just want to run, right? You want to get there. Yeah. But what happens when you go to the summit? Yes. That is really, you gotta figure out.
Mm-hmm. that's cool perspective about coaching, like role model, right? So you're talking about the future and how you will feel in this state that you already achieved. So it can really motivate you to achieve this, or you can just get rid of this goal because it's not important for
Exactly.
you.
Exactly. That's exactly the point, right? Maybe
Yeah.
you are trying too much, and maybe you need to really think about different areas
Yeah.
that you never thought of.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I highly believe, like, also anybody listening, like, I think the coaching really, I mean, I should be doing more.
Yeah.
But I had a really great experience when I did.
So I love the part of coaching that you are practicing it yourself, but then with your team you can also practice it, and it's a big unlock for your team, because I was trying, like I said, I was trying to be kind of a savior for the team, trying to save everyone, and I think it's just IC mentality. When you're transitioning from IC to manager, you're trying to do everything with your hands. If someone is failing to do something, you are thinking that it's your fault because you are manager now, and you need to do this thing for them. And the coaching was a big unlock for me, because I started to, can I say it, like delegating ownership to other people, and I started thinking like these people are starting to grow when I started giving this ownership of something to them. So this is really great, and coaching really a big driver in this process for me.
Recap, coaching, mentorship, high agency, entrepreneurship. We talk a lot of things. I mean, I would like to move to final section now, talk about, back to design. Especially with the technology shift, AI, and reinventing yourself as a designer in a way right now. Everybody, not just designers. Let's talk about like how you also envision like design going to move in the future.
If there would be no AGI, we are safe, because that's the best time for designers. We, like I said initially, we can become founders. That can be our future. We understand the problem, we have empathy, we can discover the problems, attach solutions to that, we know how to make solutions work. Design founders, I think that's the next big thing for us. Other than that, design engineers, I was talking this for years. I have an engineering degree myself, and I was talking about this for years. If you start like working with real stuff, like with React, with code yourself, you will understand why your front-end developer trying to protect himself from certain solutions that you suppose like you want to implement in the product. I think design engineers, it can be the next big topic for us. For managers roles, I'm not sure. I don't know where it's going for managers. It feels like more for being hands-on design managers or something.
And coaching.
Yeah, I think so. So everyone expects from you to deliver something until you're already super like on the top level right now. Generalist. So like what I'm describing, it's more about being generalist. The barrier to get into technology is super low right now, so you can become a design engineer really easy. The same about being a design founder. You can get all this marketing and numbers, understanding and theory really fast through technology, because like you don't need to spend tons of time like reading through all these books. You have access to all the knowledge through ChatGPT. Yeah, I think for designers, like I said, if there are no AGI, we're in a pretty safe place. So if you compare this to engineers, I'm super worried for engineers, to be honest.
Even engineers, I really feel like great engineers is always like, it's impossible to replace.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, don't take me wrong. I'm talking about like if we have all these tools, AI tools like Cursor, Bold, that helps you to, I'm talking about Cursor, getting into technology much easier. Eventually, I understand that some people will get interested in technology, some designers, and they can become front-end developers easy, like in 1 or 2 years, and that's really a short period of time, because before that, to become a front-end engineer, you need to spend like 3-4 years to become a really good front-end engineer. Now it's much easier, and if it's much easier, then the barrier to get into this profession, it's super low. More people will try to get into this profession, and it will like flat the surface for everyone in the space. years.
This is already happening, right? Like all the new tools and new products that people are launching, it's already happening.
Yeah.
I think only I guess the barrier is like the legacy systems, that have like 20 years old.
Yeah.
But they're gonna die slowly anyway. So right? It's just happening as we speak, because I've seen a really great like design engineers like you mentioned who creating a crazy like can bring the emotion back to it, right? That's the crazy thing.
Yes, yeah. So like you can stand out on the market. So like if you're just a front-end engineer or if you are just a designer, if you compare this to design engineer, that's like clear advantage to me. So I would love to see this person on my team.
Yeah.
So I'm doing the both things.
I can tell you that that's a huge talent to have as a manager.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But I also like the state of design in the future. Like you mentioned, the very first point, like we talked about, like entrepreneurship. I think designers need to be very entrepreneurial right now.
Yeah.
You just need to be. It's just a no-brainer right now. You cannot like pigeonhole yourself as like the designer.
Yeah.
You gotta be like, because, like we talked about, everything is done quicker. Research can be done quicker.
Yeah.
The testing can be done quicker. Like the crafts can be done quicker.
Yeah.
You just need to actually now learn the things that, you never thought of, right?
Yeah.
And really understand the whole 360 and be generalist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, without issue, I mean, design founders, we're going to see a lot.
I think what helped me a lot is to see the whole design industry as a tool to achieving something. So that's the tool to bringing emotion and good solutions on the market. So that's just a solution for me. Truly enjoy just creating and giving value to others. So that's like the core. And I believe that's for most designers. We just really like to solve complex problems for others and bring value to others. So that's like the core of our profession. And if we can keep it, but just adjust like our tooling, either it's like design, UX, visual design, entrepreneurship, whatever, then it's you're unstoppable. So you have this the core, it's your motivation to move, and then you're just like using all the tools on the way.
Exactly. And one advantage I would say a designer would have in this case, envision differently the experience, right?
Yeah.
Which is a very vital part in a product at the end of the day.
Yeah.
End of the day, like we talked, it's selling to humans. You need to tap that, that trigger.
Simple solutions, emotions, so you can drive it as a designer.
I don't know, there's so many products coming up right now. Like there's so many cool things happening. Maybe you can also mention, I know like you also trying to create your own product, right? Your own thing. Like, can you give a little bit of insight on that?
Yeah, sure. So like I said before, what I was trying to do at the end of the last year, that was a changing moment for me. So where I started building products. So the first product that I got into that was a problem that in front of me, that flashcards app. So I started building a simple flashcards app with a touch of AI. So whenever do you know the concept of flashcards? Like on the front side you have the original word, on the other side you have a translation.
Yeah.
And I tried to apply my design thinking to that, how to improve it. There is a big player on the market called Anki app, and they here for years, I don't know, like for 10 years, and super popular on the market. But I don't really love them. It was not sticking with me to get into crafting card every time. I don't want to spend time on crafting the card. So this is like the part of design thinking that I can simplify it. I know the solution how to simplify it with AI.
Yeah, exactly.
And what I eventually did, when you're creating the card, you are just typing the words that you want to learn. You click generate with examples with AI, translation with AI, one click of a button, and you have created like tons of cards in your app. And I have like really smart prompt behind that it provides like simple examples, language levels that you are learning with right now. And super simple idea. I delivered that, and now I'm jumping onto another product because I don't really believe that I can scale this. I will still try to do some marketing around it, but I'm jumping on another idea that's like more like B2B idea, but on that later.
Yeah, that's exactly the entrepreneurship, right? Practice.
Yeah. For me, it's all about like getting into the habit of creating products and then testing different ideas.
That's exactly what they say, right? You need to take 100 or 1,000 and you just need to succeed with one. Yeah. Nice. I mean, this is super insightful. I mean, we talked really broad areas, actually, I believe, with a lot of topics. And yeah, Sam, anything else you want to add, I would say, apart from all of this?
Yeah, I think bias to action. So like start acting on something that you like, that you love, and then you will get a lot of energy from it to move on. So this is one thing that I will add.
Okay, cool. Maybe then we can move into some few questions.
Yeah.
To finish up the episode.
Let's do it.
All right. The first question: what's your go-to AI tool right now? There's so many. You can give more than one if you wanna.
Yeah.
Like maybe you can highlight like some use cases, right? How has it changed the design overall in you, with a process experience?
So I think go-to tools is ChatGPT for me, of course. And especially its research mode. So I do research a lot on different topics. You just providing a prompt and then this machine thinking for a couple of minutes, and then it will give you the results with this research that I will spend like the whole day like just reading through all these articles, through I don't know 100 articles. So this is what I use the most. One of the cases that I find really helpful is to create a project in ChatGPT, then add all the context. For example, you had your user interviews, you have the context of the project, you have, I don't know, like in our case we had GitHub issues, provided all this context into ChatGPT project, and I started asking for strong product assumptions that I can test for this product. And it was really awesome. Like I created, I don't know, like 200 or 300 assumptions like in a couple of minutes. And then I just filtered through them. I got through this list, highlighted like 20, and there were really good assumptions. So it's helping me a lot to save the time. Another tool, Cursor. So I'm building everything with Cursor. But I advise to try it out because it's not super complicated. And you will learn how to code on the way.
Do you pair the cursor with some other like generate AI tools like a Bolt or Lovable?
I tried everything like Lovable, Bolt, Replit, everything. I just tend to go into Cursor because for me, I kind of can read the code, and for me that it would be much easier to support the products that I'm developing. So if I'm just creating simple prototypes to show to founder or whatever, then I will go to Lovable, to these tools. But if I'm creating something for myself, I want to support it in the future, then I would go to Cursor.
Awesome. I need to learn a little bit more about Cursor. What's the one book that you recommended for anybody?
Books. I don't have any strong recommendations. My relationship with books is not that easy. I'm not reading any book right now, to be honest. For me, it's all about like having a topic in front of you that you want to solve, and then books are just like a resource to getting this information. So for example, if I'm researching coaching topic right now, then I will go and just read top 10 books, like scroll through these books, like top 10 books on coaching. That's my method on learning something new. One resource that you want to go through right now is to check YouTube video. There is a guide to conversation by Healthy Gamer. This is like professional psychiatrist, and he just help you to understand how to have a healthy conversation with a human being. This is like best 30 minutes of your life.
I need to check that out. What's the biggest mistake you see new, let's say, early design leaders make, or senior level designers make?
When they're transitioning to manager, or just in general?
It could be both.
Seniors, I think they can start, if they're super seniors, they're principals, they can start asking for help. So like the biggest mistakes, they are not asking for help from others, if you're struggling with all the tasks that you have to make in the company, you don't have enough time, it means that you can ask for help for your founder to hire another designer. So you don't need to struggle all the time through that. Or you can just ask for help to review the processes that you already have. So asking for help. So this is something that I feel like people are missing. If you're transitioning from IC to manager, that's about like stopping being an IC, only an IC, and stop being a manager, not being trapped in IC role.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can relate also to both of them, all of us, right?
Yeah, I'm still struggling.
Yeah. And the last question: if you could give one advice to anybody listening right now, designers, yeah, what would it be?
Oh yeah. That's super easy. Start creating something on your own.
Yeah, it's a good advice.
Yeah. You will learn so much through this process, and you will talk with your founders, with your managers on another level after you go through this journey.
Awesome. I think it was very insightful even for me, like because we talked about a lot of things usually we never talk about, right?
Yeah, we should cover a few topics, right?
Yeah. But thank you so much, Sam, again for your time. And that's a wrap then. Thank you so much for everyone for listening. And a special thanks for Sam taking the time. Anyway, people can find you.
My website samabd.com, and there are all the links that you can find helpful.
Amazing.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
If this episode resonated with you, I'd be so grateful if you shared with somebody who might benefit. Great insights are meant to be shared. Thank you for listening. See you next episode.